Bruce Cassidy is going to the Winter Olympics this February as a member of John Cooper's Team Canada's staff. We'll tell you all about it next on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Missed the opportunity. It should have been this gold medal edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting from Las Vegas. We appreciate you making us your first listen every day. I am a longtime sportscaster, a marketing consultant, and the host of the Believe in Vegas podcast. Today, I will be putting up a new show with Phil Steele of College Football Preview. Chris, a day one season ticket holder for VGK, the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports, and the collectibles editor of the Hockey News. Now, coming up ahead on today's show, we will be talking about Bruce Cassidy. Bruce, named as an assistant coach for Team Canada. Power play success last year was terrific. They finished second, I believe, and the odd man out on the power play unit. So, Chris, we know that Bruce Cassidy is a proud Canadian. He said that he would be honored in the past to be named a coach for his country for the Winter Games in Milano Cortina in 2026, next February, in the Olympic Games.
Am I supposed to react to the Italian there?
No, just
okay.
do this.
There was a pause. There was a pause.
No, well, I had to be emphatic about it. Okay. Yesterday, the dream comes true for the VGK head coach. He'll be on John Cooper's staff, along with Rick Tocchet and former Golden Knights coaches Peter DeBoer and Misha Donskov. Now you can react.
So DeBoer is coaching in the Olympics, but he's unemployed.
Correct. And Donskov's not in the NHL anymore. He found a fantastic job, I think, with I think he's with Team Canada right now.
Okay. All right. Interesting. I don't hate it by any means. DeBoer, I think, has earned his stripes and the consideration for the gig. Listen, I mean, Cassidy, obviously a worthy recipient of the opportunity to go to the Olympics, not go back, but go to the Olympics. We know what he did with the Vegas Golden Knights. We know what he did with the Boston Bruins. We know his role. Granted, it was with 5 of the best players in the world, but we know his role on the power play specifically with Team Canada. So all the credit in the world for Cassidy for what he has achieved at this point in his career. And it just seems like he keeps adding more and more notches into his belt.
And so I think we'll probably see DeBoer pull a goaltender or two in the Olympic Games. This is the reward for winning the Four Nations face-off, right, over the past winter. And they've stuck together. And we even heard Cassidy a couple of weeks ago on one of those interviews talking about staying in touch, and they've had a lot of meetings and what have you. So he knew that this was coming. And again, as you said, he's going to run the power play. As a coach, he's come a long way. I mean, he continues to, you talk about development of a coach for real. I mean, Cassidy has really turned into one of the top coaches in the NHL.
He has a coaching gig, gets fired, works his way back up through the ranks, and he's applying on a daily basis the things he learned at his time with Boston to Vegas. And you saw it come out a little bit when Marchessault was on the team, not as much when Marchessault wasn't on the team necessarily, but Cassidy has a little edge to him in his pressers when something doesn't go his way. And historically, Cassidy would have no problem calling people out by name in Boston when he was doing his pressers. In the same, like, he's not dragging them. He's doing it in the same honest tone that he does in Vegas. But sometimes he forgets when he's talking to the media and talking face-to-face with his team. And when the team is seeing their name through the media because they didn't do something right. Now, the fix of that, so to speak, is instead of saying Marchessault didn't have a stick on the right place on that pass, it was, we had a veteran didn't have their stick in the right place, and things like that. You're still calling him out, but you're dulling the sword a little bit.
Yes,
you're
he's definitely grown.
So it's all part of the evolution and everything. And they're humans. They want to be treated like humans. They don't want to be, some coaches are machines. I think Cassidy is a little better when it comes to those relationships, maybe than some. But again, it's all part of the evolution to what he's done, back from his playing days to his coaching days, to his assistant days, to his coaching days. And here we are going back to the Olympics. So good for Bruce.
Imagine DeBoer trying to pull Bennington out of a game. My goodness, that would be fire, as the kids say. First time that the NHL players are in the Olympics in 11 years. So this is going to be something big. However, no fight allowed in the Olympic Games. So we won't see a replay of what we saw in Four Nations.
You're not going to see the gloves dropping and stuff, but the fisticuffs between the whistles and things like that. I mean, I don't know the specific what is a fight only with two players drop the gloves, or is a punch
out.
part of a fight?
You'll get thrown out, I think, if you throw a punch. Yeah.
Okay. A face wash versus, you know what I mean? Like there's
A
a
lot
great,
of
there's a major
Yeah.
gray space in there when you're talking what's happening after the whistles and things like that. And I think the main thing the Olympics doesn't want are two people squaring up necessarily. So although that'd be a funny thing if maybe this is the evolution of fighting right now. There's like 15% of the hockey world that's like no more fighting, no more fighting. And the players, unless you're grandfathered in like Ryan Reaves and players like that right now, you have to wear a half shield in the NHL. I wonder if like they're going to say you can fight, but you got to keep your gloves on now. Maybe that's the continuation.
And Revo himself is admittedly saying that it's turned into a skill game more so than a fighting game now. So
welcome to the club, Revo. You only figured that out 9 years too late.
Leave Revo alone. He's a guy that loves Vegas. That's my guy.
No, Revo's amazing. He is, but
Okay, so the Team Canada
he'll be great in
roster.
San Jose. Great. They'll probably retire his number.
Oh, wait till he has to go up against Mitchy Marner. Team Canada's roster. Cassidy will have VGK players Marner, Mark Stone, maybe Aiden Hill, Shea Theodore, former goaltender Logan Thompson deserves to be on this team now. 6 players have already been selected for Team Canada. My only wish here this upcoming season is that there are no audition games during the NHL regular season.
There's going to be tons of audition games
for players like Aiden Hill. Remember that last year? Where were they? Were they?
That was a joke, and I think that made a mockery of I'm not sure what the word is I'm looking for.
Who would even admit to that, though? That was the crazy.
Yeah, no, that was a blatant miss by all parties concerned, talking about, we wanted to get him a look for the Olympics. Like, that's the dumbest thing I heard last year. I'm sorry. Of all the things I heard last year and all the issues that the team did have, that was the dumbest thing that I heard. Like, I don't care about the auditions. I don't care about the Four Nations. I want to see the Golden Knights get 2 points. And it's not like Armstrong and John Cooper don't have video of every single save that Aiden Hill has made in the last decade of his career, or however long Aiden Hill's been in the NHL. It's about a decade. So whatever. I mean, that gets me fired up every time I hear that. And,
I tried to get you fired up.
There's going to be, you will hear things in pressers, pregame, postgame, about consideration for the Olympics and everything. But I am with you. I don't want to hear any of that crap about, oh, it's an audition. We want to get them a look. They're playing the Blues tonight. No, do what's best for the Golden Knights getting 2 points, and the Olympics will take care of themselves at this point.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more.
And that roster is set already. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Well,
that roster is 90%
yes and
set.
No, they're saying it's going to come down to the wire for some of the later players. Of course, they'll be evaluated, and then January they announce.
Yeah, let's evaluate Nate McKinnon. Make sure he's Olympic material. Get out. Go away.
Okay, but they are going to evaluate some fringe players, and I think that is a distraction for teams, and we saw it last year.
Yes,
this was not a third-round team when they started to do that and evaluate players.
They weren't a third-round team from the word go, Tony, and that's
okay.
We fell.
I had to get a dig in. Already, the 6 players.
Good team, just not a third-round team. That's all.
The 6 players named already for Team Canada: Crosby, McDavid, McKinnon, Makar, Braden Point, Sam Reinhart. And there's 25-man rosters, and everything opens up in the Olympic Games on February the 6th. Coming up next, how did VGK's power play become so successful this past season? We'll get to that as we return right here on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, we've got golf on the greens, and there's high stakes soccer action going on, and the WNBA. Don't open a can of worms. FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little bit more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the Ultra Pool here in Vegas. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. Whether I'm placing the same game parlay or watching a bet ride into the ninth inning, FanDuel makes it feel like I am part of the action. And right now, if you are new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Back on this, that was a gold medal segment. This gold medal edition of Locked On Golden Knights from
Marner
Las
Monday's better.
Vegas. Marner Monday was fire yesterday. Did you notice all of the other Marner posts that were made around that? Mondays, I'm telling you, is a big Marner day, and I'm going to take a bow. Marner Mondays, bro. Got to do it.
We need
We're gonna
Tavares
do that.
Tuesday or something like that. Or
Tavares
who's
Tuesday?
a W player?
I don't know. WNBA. WNBA players were wearing shirts at the All-Star game that said pay them what they're worth. Oh, my goodness. Don't forget Friday. Oh, should have been on Friday. WTF. What the Fridays there. Make sure you tune into that. Saturdays, sometimes Chris Jr. show. How did the Golden Knights become so successful on the man advantages past season? That's a big question. VGK ranked 12th at the end of the 23-24 season, scoring 23.5% of the time. The season that just concluded a year later, VGK's power play was ranked second, Chris, at 28.3%, and that put the Golden Knights fifth in percentage on the man advantage in the cap era. So in the cap era, it's pretty big news, right? I saw that graphic. Yeah, and the Jets last season were the tops at 28.9%. To what do we attribute VGK's improvement and success on the power play unit?
It's a tough question. You go back to 22-23, and the Golden Knights were 18th in their Stanley Cup winning season. So it's hard to figure what the correlation is to successful teams and the power play, at least as the regular season is concerned. It's got to be systematic, right? I mean, it's got to be very highly related to what Cassidy put into play, and that's why he's coaching the power play in the Olympics with the best players in the world, I guess. Everything just kind of clicked, right? I mean, it was a very methodic power play that's not very direct. That relies on a lot of motion to keep the defenders and the goaltenders off balance. And I think it's not just about the system, but I think the best credit you can give is the fact that Cassidy knows when to tell the men to, okay, be a little more creative, get those passes going across, get them more direct. And then when things aren't going well, all of a sudden Cassidy comes out in the presser. Well, we're shooting for sticks now in the power play. They're letting those farther shots go from the point or higher up on the elbows and things like that. And they're aiming for sticks. They're aiming for shin pads. They're looking to create some bounces and create their own puck luck. So maybe it's the chameleon, if you want to go that direction, in Coach Cassidy, and to just understand, he knows right what buttons to push and when to push them. He's got the skill. There's no doubt about that. But that skill has to be managed well. And I think that's where we'll give credit to Cassidy.
I have some points to make here. PP1 stalled with Hannafin. With Hannafin as the QB, and then Shea Theodore was much better leading that power play unit. I felt as though the net front presence improved, and that was something. I got to tell you, man, I
It's
always
Hertl.
give
Hertl.
Hertl and Stone, but I've
Yeah.
always given Cassidy credit for when he emphasizes a point going into the season. That was like one of his major points. And look at the success here. When he emphasizes a point and they practice and work on it, his success rate's got to be in the 90 percentile. I'm telling you, in a game, we'll say, we're going to work on this today. And they go out and they execute that. They might be passengers otherwise and do something else, but at least the points that he practiced have been successes.
And that's why he's a Stanley Cup coach. That's why he's now a 2-time international coach, you know.
Gold
And
medal winning coach.
there
Maybe,
you go. Yeah,
perhaps.
yeah. That's a fake gold medal, folks. Stop it. That's a fake.
No.
Four
They might.
Nations didn't
He might get
happen.
the big one. He might get the. You know what's
Oh,
going
the
to
big one,
bother me?
absolutely. I mean, he's going to get gold, silver, or at least bronze, I would say, in about 8 months from now,
You know.
7 months from
You
now.
know
give
what's
or
going to
take.
bother me is all the chatter here from all the Canadians within the organization, constantly. Last year it was just, this is America. This is America, folks. Pavel Dorofeev.
There's
Pavel
any
Dorofeev.
logic. This is America.
America.
It's a Canadian
Pavel
game.
Dorofeev, high success on the power play unit. You might want to bounce him. We'll talk about that in our next segment.
I don't
13
want
power
Dorofeev.
play goals, which is a record, right? He passed up Eric Howla, right? Who had 12.
It was a record until Tomas Hertl got his 14th power play goal last season.
Oh, it was 14 for Hertl. It was 13. How many times did the Golden Knights play Edmonton? Okay.
How many times are you going to be wrong in a stat in the last week and a half?
So 14 power play goals, the record. Dorofeev chipped in with 13. Eichel has 11. Did you realize too that Eichel was a plus 32? Get me out of my stat mess. I'm horrible on these stats, right? You agree? Everyone
I mean, if you keep firing off, I can't spot check you on the fly. So that's probably the way to do it. You're confusing me right now. No, I mean, listen, what's there to say about the power play last year? Pavel Dorofeev, obviously, having that left-handed shot on the right side, that was, I think, a big change from the Marchessault era, so to speak, of the Golden Knights power play. And it's not a knock on Marchessault, just a little bit easier to rip that one-timer coming across in that circumstance. And Dorofeev drives the net a little bit differently too, so I think that's a big change. You talked about the net front presence. Hertl and Stone can be a problem, right? You got Stone working that high slot. You got Stone working really well below the goal line. And Hertl, how many times have we seen a goal where he's screening the goalie and he's pointing at someone who, it's your goal, it didn't touch me. You know what I mean? Like, you saw that a ton last year. So right combination of finesse as far as the passing game, right combination of let's just get to the puck, low to high, Tony, the thing you hate the most at times, but it works because you shoot for sticks, you shoot for deflections, and you got Hertl and Stone and Dorofeev, all three of them crash in the net. But 14 goals, Hertl, 13 Dorofeev. Olofsson still unemployed, 6 goals on the power play. Eichel and Stone chipped in with 5 goals apiece. And then on as far as assists go on the power play, Eichel 29, Stone 20, Theodore 17 from that quarterback role, Noah Hannafin 8.
Amazing passes through the slot. It just utterly amazes me how they get those passes through and why teams, even though they've done it several times, they don't defend it very well. They score on the back
what's
door on
coming.
that weak
It's
side.
hard to defend.
And,
You know what's coming.
Right. And they'll score a ton of goals on the weak side. And again, they set up screens and they get good chances for deflections. And they've also played a lot better rebounds when they have not me bounds, rebounds had to throw that in there. When the puck, of course, is out in front of the net, they're getting a lot of second
is terrible.
chances.
Can I say that?
Yes, you can say that. Okay. Yes, and she does deserve a raise. That's okay. You can say that. No, she does not. Okay.
Sure. Yes, whatever you say.
Okay. Coming up next, we'll talk, will the power play improve this season with Mitchy Marner? That's what Reaves called him yesterday. With Marner's presence on power play number 1. More right after this on Lockdown Golden Knights. Back on Golden Knights. Lockdown Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick reporting from Las Vegas. I screw up stats like on the daily. We appreciate you making us your first listen, especially our everydayers. You mean so much to us. And thanks so much for subscribing to our Lockdown Golden Knights YouTube channel. What significant changes are we going to see on the power play this upcoming season ahead? You have to start off with Mitch Marner, 50 career power play goals. Got that right. 178 power play assists. It's going to be like that Spider-Man meme with Eichel and Marner, like, you shoot it, no, you shoot it, no, you shoot it. They're going to be going back and forth. But somebody's got to shoot the stinking puck. It's going to be good this upcoming season, but Marner had just 6 power play goals last season, which is paltry when you compare it to the Golden Knights and what they did. I look for that to improve, and he'll bolster the power play for the Golden Knights. So the givens, you would probably need to have these players on power play unit number 1. You need Eichel, you need Marner, you need Dorofeev, you need someone in the bumper, aka Stone or Hertl, and they might switch roles between 1 and 2, and then you need Shea Theodore as the quarterback. What other changes do you foresee, Mr. Golick?
So number one, what Mitch Marner, just looking at what the Leafs have done going all the way back to 21-22 on the power play, looks like the worst they've been. I mean, they were number 1 in the regular season in 21-22 on the power play. 22-23 in the regular season, they're number 2. 23-24 in the regular season, they dropped all the way down to 6th in the power play. So, I mean, number one, Mitch Marner is a big part of that. You talked about his power play stats earlier. As far as the odd man out, I've been sitting on this segment, I think, since last Thursday. We couldn't get in right now. But number one, it's between Hertl and Stone, I think. Let's be clear about this.
That's what I was thinking too. Right.
I'm not a fan, and I credit Ken from Sinbin jumping in on the post here and showing Mitch Marner as a quarterback on the power play and what he did in his time with Toronto. I think he did a tremendous job, obviously. The five forwards on the power play, that's something that just gives me some heartburn. I'm not a fan of that by any means. Either. It could work, don't get me wrong, and maybe it will work, but I know Mitch Marner can play the defensive role when he needs to in a 2-on-1 odd man rush and all that, but it's just something that's semi-alarming to me. So now we're talking basically Hertl and Stone. Well, we got some stats here. I got some words here as soon as I find it. There it is right here. So that face-off, remember the first face-off of the power play almost always is going to be in the offensive zone. I say almost, there's some caveats to that if there's a hand pass or if there's an icing on the goalies. Just some weird things, but almost all the face-offs will start in the offensive zone. So money puck, 5-on-4 situations, Vegas Golden Knights forwards taking face-offs in the offensive zone. Nicholas Waugh, 45.9%. He's gone, obviously. Jack Eichel, when taking the face-off when taking a face-off on the power play, 27.7%. Again, that's in a 5-on-4 situation, not overall, a 5-on-4 situation. Tomas Hertl, 91.4% when taking faceoffs in a 5-on-4 situation in the regular season last year. Per money puck, William Karlsson, 55.3. So you are not taking Tomas Hertl off power play 1. I don't think you're taking Dorofeev off power play 1 for that shot from the right side. Mark Stone, good net front presence, yes, but Dorofeev and Hertl are going to have to replace that.
Power play unit 2, you're just talking about the effectiveness of winning faceoffs, and one of the better improvements this year will be in that dot, again, with Colton Sissons. Do you put him on the second power?
No, it's William Karlsson. Or if they bump Hertl off 1, which I don't think is happening, it's Hertl.
Okay, Sissons, so what is number 2? What is number 2?
I mean, right now, again, this is what the way Daily Faceoff has it, actually Daily Faceoff agrees with me right now. Hertl, Eichel, Mitch Marner, Dorofeyev, Theodore is this power play 1.
I think that's fair, and I think that's a fair lineup for PP1. That's good.
I think it's fine. And then 2, some combination of Carlson, Barbashev, Stone, Hannafin, Riley, Smith.
Barbashev's still with the team? Go
Exactly.
figure.
Yeah, no, it's we said the same about Shea Theodore about this time last year. But again, power play 2 is irrelevant, folks. Power play 2 will only get out there in a long situation, so to speak, if the top line players have a long shift leading up to the start of the power play. Or if the top power play unit just happens to be struggling in a game, they're 0 for 4 or something like that, Cassidy could roll out the second unit. But Cassidy definitely switched to that more 90-second role of power play 1 until there's basically a face-off, once the minute's gone by, or, just wait till the very end of the power play to get those players off of the ice. And it worked. I mean, you got the best players on the team, get them out there as long as you possibly can on the power play. You're not using nearly the same amount of energy in the power play versus 5-on-5 or kills. So power play 2 is good, even though the Golden Knights have Noah Hannafin, William Karlsson, and possibly Mark Stone or Tomas Hertl out there. That's a good second power play unit. Didn't even mention Barbashev or Riley Smith. That's a good second power play unit, but second power play is going to be irrelevant for the Golden Knights, just like it is for the Edmonton Oilers.
I think it's going to be something that they're going to rely on post-Olympics because, again, you've got all that firepower. And, well, you're going to need some depth. That's going to be a topic here because with a condensed schedule, and especially on that 5-game roadie coming out of the Olympics, that's going to be torture after VGK flies from LA, where their first game will be.
Tony just referred to the VGK schedule as torture. It's a new day. It
is a new
Tony,
day.
Did you find God last night, Tony?
I'm honest about this. I'm always honest about everything on this show.
Don't be honest. You're going to confuse people.
The honeymoon's over, folks, in year number 9. So by the time the Golden Knights get to Washington on the second leg and back to the East Coast, I don't know. And they're going to have to shut down some of these players that are in the Olympics, whether they want to or not. Hey, did you see? I know something comes out all the time after we do our shows. And yesterday on Monarch Monday, Ryan Reaves getting backlash now from the fans in Toronto for telling Marner what a great place it is to live in Las Vegas and what a great organization it is to play for the VGK.
That explains why Revo got traded all of a sudden.
Well, no, Revo said he knew he was on the way out anyway, but he said he wasn't trying to do it to rub in anything. He said he and Mitchie have become good friends, but I got to tell you, Reaves is one of my favorites all time as a personality and for what he's done and coming back, and he lives in this community.
Mm-hmm.
He's embraced the community. He lives here and he's selling it to one of his good friends, asking him, like, where do you live? What do you do? Why do you like it so much? All you do is rave about it. I think it's terrific. And when Reaves retires and goes and gets the statue in front of T-Mobile Arena, it won't be as a San Jose Shark. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I mean, listen, Revo, honestly, I know I drag him a lot as far as on the ice, but as far as
the guy. I love
as far as being a citizen of Southern Nevada and the good things that he does and just being an ambassador for the community, he is up there with, as far as just on the hockey side, he's up there with Riley Smith and Jack Eichel. There's no doubt about that. I know I drag him for on the ice, but off the ice, he's gold standard. He's as good as it gets. And, I do look forward to seeing what Revo does once hockey is out of his system, because
he might coach, but he doesn't like
I can see him opening a bar. I could see him opening a bar with all the 7-5 stuff, and I think that would be absolutely.
They have one
awesome.
downtown, I think. Yeah,
what's that?
Most of it. No, I said they have one downtown.
But it's going to have his name on it. It's going to be his place. You can catch him in there pouring beers.
Have some good bar fights.
Some good bar fights. Exactly.
He could be a bouncer. Could be a
really cool hockey bar, with Reeves' personality attached to it and all that. I think it could be a ton of fun.
We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially you, our everydayers. We're still at number 3, Singapore. Thanks for tuning in around the world. Of course, we'll be back again tomorrow. We appreciate you tuning in. For my man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. We'll see you right here coming up tomorrow, right here on Locked On Golden Knights, and please take care.
I don't see our exit video. I don't have an exit video. All right. End of recording. 3, 2, 1. Bye.